New year, new me. Now, I'm not one for New Year's resolutions. So it's a bit rich that I'm sitting here making a video about New Year, new me. But I think that comes from a place of question rather than intent necessarily. So when I say New Year, new me, it is in jest because that is a phrase that I tend to chuckle at. But equally, I kind of respect that people like to bookend the year, like to start the year off on a positive note. So yeah, this does probably look like some form of New Year's resolutions video, but I suppose it's just me documenting that I want to try, and I want to try different things and different experiences. I think one of the reasons I don't tend to like resolutions is I'm not necessarily an objective driven person. Now, if I'm being honest for a moment, I'm not great at following through with objectives, bullet pointed lists of what I want to do by this date, by that date. I'm great at idea generation and having an idea of what I would like to do, but I find that when I pinpoint those to precise dates or precise outcomes that are comprehensively necessary, that builds on me internally and I can't do it. I find it overwhelming. But what I am good at is small change, that slow, steady build up of habits, whether that comes from not being active at all to then being like, okay, well, let's try and do 5,000 steps a day. Let's go. We've done 5,000. Let's do 6. Let's do 7, and so forth. Apply it in the gym, right? You don't just walk in, load on 100 kilos onto the bench press and go with it, because it's not going to work. And then naturally, when we fail, we are then deterred from trying again. So you have to build things up incrementally. And that's what I want to do. So this is going to be an experiment. This is me vocalizing a few things that I would like to try and seeing at the end of the year and through the year as well where I'm at with it, and have I had to pivot and change, and what will the outcome be? Why am I doing this? I don't comprehensively know. I just want to try. I just want to try some different things. And maybe that comes from a place of restfulness in my life, of just wanting to see what else I can potentially do with it. We're all taught from very young, you go to school, you get your job, you get a quote unquote good job, whatever that means. And then you do that until you retire, and you kind of bookend your life in that way. And I kind of feel like there's more out there, there's more to do. But the only way to get the life that you want to live is by trying. So I suppose that's my why. I think as well, I'm really aware of the fact that consistency is of primary importance. That's what really matters. I don't think for me it's about being completely polished. This is a skill set I don't necessarily think I have, but it's one that I think I can learn and develop. You don't wake up one day and want to be a doctor and then 2 days later you are a doctor. It doesn't work like that. So this is an experiment. I really hate to use this because it's something that's been by corporate life, but this is a journey. And yeah, it's experiments, it's journeys, and let's see where I or we can end up, because I know there'll definitely be other people that are, one, feeling like this, and two, on similar journeys. So going back to the point on I don't do resolutions, I'm going to consider these as experiments, whether that be making a YouTube video or trying various things on social media. One, I think to help me find my voice. Two, you have to experiment to find something, firstly, that you enjoy doing, and secondly, that you're good at. Because I think if you're good at it, you will enjoy it a little bit more. Now, There are so many things that I could do. Ultimately, as well, I think this will be a process. This is a process of me trying to find out what I like to do, what content, if that's the path that I really go down, what content do I like to create? Because I think you have to enjoy what you do, and that will then come across in videos. It will come across through conversations and how people see your enjoyment through the expressions on your face of what you're discussing. So this isn't a video to say that every single video that I post would be like this. It won't. Now, I have been posting a few videos and recording myself over the last 6 weeks, and I will say, surprisingly, I have found this relatively enjoyable. In a way, it's quite therapeutic to speak to the camera, just sitting here by myself in my own world and documenting some of my thoughts, my feelings. In a way, it's modern day journaling, I suppose, right? I think one of the big fears that we all have is that we don't actually want to be seen. And that is accurate. As a person, I tend to hide in the shadows, and I'm quite happy to not be centre stage. I'm quite happy to, if I'm with my friends, I will let the louder, more broader personalities say their piece, and then I might chime in with my opinion and my thoughts. I think we don't all want to be seen, but I think it is good to be heard. And I think everyone, doesn't matter who you are, you all have a voice, you all have an opinion. One of the things that I've seen quite a lot is we don't want to be seen as cringy. Why are you recording yourself? Why do you feel the need to pull a camera out and document this, for example? And to some, and ultimately, I think to friends, family, they probably will be cringe because you're trying something different. You're trying something that they have not seen you do previously. And I suppose that's one of the fears with it, right? But ultimately, you have to kick the door down and not be afraid of that, or have that factor into your mind. It probably will still linger a little bit, but since I have recorded myself a little bit the last 6 weeks, since I have made a few posts as well over that same time frame, that does start to disappear a little bit with each time you press record or each time you press post. So I think that is probably the biggest fear, but I don't think that will ever entirely disappear. And that's fine. Not everything is perfection. Not everything is polished. And I think one of the big fears I have is that I put something out there that isn't very good. And I've got news for myself. The first few things that you put out, maybe even the first 100, they're not going to be great. And that's fine, because I'm learning. I'm trying to get to grips with the process and understand it better. Like many others, we're all doing these types of things and trying to just figure it out as we go along. But I wasn't an expert at my job on day one, but I am now. And you have to apply the same logic, right? I'm not an expert at this on day one, but by day 500, I'd like to think that I've got a lot better at it. I don't know if this will work. None of us know if this will work, right? But I think I've now hit that point where I would be more concerned and I'm more worried about not trying. So let's just try and let's see what happens. The older that you get, the less you do try different things. And if anything, you should try more because you have more life experience. You have more scenarios that you can call on to help guide and navigate you, not strictly just that effort, I'll do it mentality, which you tend to have when you're younger. Being of a certain age, you should have more confidence to try different things. And again, that's what we're doing here. We're trying different things. If you're also trying something this year, I would love to hear what it is that you're trying. and what you're experimenting with. Not strictly committing to in a resolution type basis, but what are you trying? What are you experimenting? Is it content? Is it you just want to build a few better habits in your life, such as a gym, just going out for walks on a regular basis? I want to hear, what are you trying? Now, one aim that I do have is that I'd like to post on a regular cadence, and I think every 2 weeks is realistic. There might be a week where I post twice, and then maybe I don't post for kind of 2.5 weeks, which I think is fine. But I think that's probably one commitment that I do need to make and adhere to, because I think the only way I will get better, the only way I will find my voice, my space, so to speak, is by regular posting, and in turn the regular recording of that posting. So that's my primary aim. I think I will need to post every fortnight, and that content may change. It may pivot quite wildly at times, because in my mind there are various things that I do want to try. You can tell by the channel name, Dumbbells and Pizza. It's a bit of both there. So there might be some fitness type content, there might be food related content, which I have already posted one video of the like. There may be some vlog style content. Again, I've already posted a video of that if you'd like to watch that. And I think some of the videos will be like this, and they'll just be me sat down talking, maybe a check-in. This is where I think I'm at. This is what I've learned. This is where I think I'm heading. And again, I'd like to hear from you all as well. If you are on the journey, actively following, how are you changing through the year? Did you have an aim or an objective or an experiment that you wanted to try at the start of the year, and over the months that's evolved? I think it's really interesting to see how, not just by myself, but how you have set something out in your mind at the start of the year. Maybe 2 weeks down the line, you're like, actually, I think this might be better. And it's okay. We can pivot. We can change. Not everything is set in stone. And yeah, like this channel itself might change through the year. And that's kind of the point of it as well. It is one big experiment of what Danny can do. So yeah, I'm not a New Year's person, but this is just about an experiment of a journey that hopefully isn't just for 2026. It can be something that maybe lasts way beyond that. Is it a new year, new me? Not strictly. I'm just going to try a few new things, and you're more than welcome to try alongside me. Cheers.